listen to fuck with you bastards. Very legendary, that's a matter of fact shit. You're the opposite of stars like rats spelled backwards. I float poems out to Saturn and past it. Easy as a standard anti-gravity backflip. Satellite tracking can't map out my tactics. I spit the same shit they split an atom in half with. No, it's not what I want, but it had to be. I spent 6 months just recharging my battery. Imagine me quitting, what a travesty that'd be. You space shuttle challenges are nothing but tragedies. So take care on the path that you're headed. I'm the father to your style, don't you ever forget it. I don't drop mics, only let it smoke or I said it. And I don't play, even when they press it. Get it?
He's waving his fucking letter around.
Please brace for impact. I must have went to space and got sent back, but I'm still intact. In fact, take a picture of me, you can see that I'm a star with your lens cracked. Supernova in Caesar's palace, stunting on my opponents, cause history will show we done been to war like Romans. Did that dance with the devil, hell hot as a kettle. So it's no wonder why I put this ice on all of my metal and wear that shit like a medal. Used to think I was a joker, no Jared Leto, when I said I'd get us out the ghetto. Slam my foot on the pedal, booked the studio when I couldn't afford instrumentals. Fuck it, record a cappella, flying coach, dreaming Coachella. Until they ban me, now they like Bambi's mother dead. I'm on to these Grammys, I'm rolling these grams gladly. Purple and green like Daphne, shades on like Velma, hair long like Shaggy. Crushing addies in my water, got my voice raspy. Haven't slept since California and that shit was last week. Paranoid when I sleep, but when I'm high I'm happy. That's why I need to kiss the sky when I get stuck in the valley. Lift off, lift off.
Way off topic radio, off the chain, son. That's my new intro. Since that last intro, Phoenix, remember that? Is that your intro? That's good stuff. What's up, Hyper Nutz? Hyper Nutz back in the hizzy.
What's up, Frank?
How you been, buddy?
We listen to one rap song. This is what happens to him.
Yeah, really.
It was Mike Shinoda and Chino. This is what I mean by Chino sounding amazing, and this is why I hate Chino, because he can't do this like on the regular. You know, Chino singing melody that sounded. You can't tell me Chino didn't sound amazing.
Who's Chino?
Deftones lead singer.
Okay.
Remember, I keep saying I swore off fucking Deftones the 5th time I seen him because he can sound like that, but fucking every other shit song that he does is just shit. And
It all depends on if he was on heroin or not. Go ahead. Sorry, Phoenix.
That's all right. I was gonna say not a fan. That's all I'm saying.
There is nothing wrong with fucking Deftones.
Thank you. Have you ever seen Deftones?
Never seen them, but listened to them many, many times.
Do not go see them if you like Deftones. You will grow to hate.
I wouldn't pay to go see anyone sing in a concert with thousands of people surrounding me when I can just listen to it on YouTube. And it's going to sound 10 times better. They're not going to be drunk. They're not going to be high. You know.
Yeah, but it's an experience. Like, Phoenix and I were talking about, he's never experienced a Manson concert. But he's been to, like, No Effects, like a punk type of, concert scene, which they're similar, There's there's mosh circles and everything like that. But yeah, Manson was one of the craziest pits. So Slipknot was the most insane pit I've ever been in.
I've heard that Ozfest was like the craziest mosh pit.
Yeah. That's where that's where I saw Deftones for the 5th time and swore off Deftones forever. Do you love Adrenaline?
Oh, Adrenaline is awesome,
Yeah.
Especially when you're young.
You know who doesn't like Adrenaline? Chino.
That would make sense because he's a heroin addict. Well, it's true.
Fair enough.
You don't do heroin for Adrenaline.
True, and you know what? And you don't do a 3-minute melody or a 3-minute collage of all of Adrenaline.
It's probably just.
He was doing White Pony at the time, and he did Change into Fly, or I'm a fly and I'm changing. Look at my wings. I forget what the name of the song was. It's nothing even close to that. However, he harmonized at the end of it, and he made the entire crowd cry. And then he goes and does some bullshit Adrenaline collage, and I'm just like, fuck you, dude. Done. Anyway.
He probably did that to win it up with the ladies.
He's just one of those asshole fucking bands that refuse to play the songs that made them with who they are and what the fans want to hear. You know what I mean? It's like, this is my new shit, and you're going to listen to it because I got you here. He's one of those cocksuckers.
I mean, they got to promote their song somehow, and that's a good way of promoting it.
Play one song and say, hey, we got a new record. Check it out. You like us, apparently. You paid to come here.
We get a bad rap on tours that screws them forever.
Just saying. Phoenix, best show you ever been to?
Oh, God. Okay. Local H and Chevelle.
I knew Local H would be a part of the lineup.
Well, I've seen them so many times, but Chevelle opened for them once, and that was just, I don't know. Great on both fronts. Usually open band, you're kind of sitting there. Maybe Bad Veins in Local H. That was also a good one.
The last Way Off Topic that we did a very music-heavy show. I highly encourage people listening to go check that out. And we mentioned Chevelle, but we never got to play them, Phoenix. And after that, I spent 3 days in a Chevelle loop, endless Chevelle loop. I had no idea what song I was listening to.
That's the beauty of Chevelle is they don't really have standout songs. They all kind of sound the same, but in a good way.
Yeah, I like because it was day 2. I made it to day 3. Not a clue what song I was listening to, but I was liking it. Hyper Nutz, what's your favorite brand of music there, buddy?
I wouldn't say I have a particular favorite brand, but I mean, I like stuff like heavy metal, outlaw country, blues, and dubstep, or drum and bass, or trance, or stuff like that.
I found out that there is a music genre called Canadian country.
What's it about? Maple syrup and hockey?
Maple syrup and hockey. Gonna watch hockey and eat maple syrup. Yeah.
I feel like more boring.
I drank a quart of maple syrup and now I'm depressed.
Get a syrup flask.
And now I want to go out and play hockey.
I always like to drink my maple syrup after the snow harvest. Yeah.
I think Molson rhymes with more words than Budweiser.
You might as well call that stuff Mudweiser.
Oh, that's catchy.
This came up with Molson's new slogan there.
Molson, we're not as shit as Budweiser.
That is shit.
Canada.
Huh?
Can't swear in Canada. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey?
Molson.
Budweiser's pretty good, but it's no Molson. I mean, Budweiser's a competitive company. They really put us out of business sometimes, but they're pretty good though. Pretty good. Check us out, won't you?
You know what I'm talking about.
God.
Oh, that's so bad.
One of the podcasts that we listened to on the last podcast there, Hyper. It was a Canadian.
So the tongue twister there.
Hey, you got to throw a lot of S's in there. It was a Canadian podcast doing a hour-long blowfest of Rush.
What?
Yeah, you can't get more Canadian than this.
That followed our other episode before that, where it was the hour-long Canadian podcast talking about pinball machines. Canada has become aware of podcasts in the last couple of years, and we're all the worse for it.
All right, I'm going to pull a prank. What's the coolest themed pinball machine you've seen, Phoenix?
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone pinball machine?
It's fucking awesome.
No,
Really?
dude, for a mid-range, not top of the line, mid-range, $9,500 pinball machine. Twilight Zone. Top of the line, mint condition, you're talking $14,000.
When I was a kid, I used to go to this movie theater, and they had this Terminator 2
Fuck yeah.
pinball machine, and instead of like pulling back the spring, to shoot out the pinball, it was that's right. It was a gun handle, and it had like one of those flying robots. I forget what they called them in the movie. But
it was the T-Fly 100.
Yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Okay.
But if you got the ball up there, that thing would like spin around and shoot. And it was great. I always loved that pinball machine.
Everybody has their favorite. Nobody ever has anything bad to talk about pinball, but you know what? A pinball podcast, on the other hand. Okay, Hyper, you know what a CRX is, right? A Honda CRX hatchback?
Yeah, Honda CRX hatchback.
Now,
I used to have. Go ahead.
Okay, did you just say you used to have one?
No, I used to have a Civic hatchback.
Close enough. Very close enough. Do you think you could possibly fit 2 pinball machines in the back of it?
I'm sure there's somebody on this fucking planet that has tried.
Yes, and they were on the podcast.
Why am I not surprised?
Dude, we have done some insane genres on that show, and we were shocked at the sheer amount of just. I mean, it was at a point where we didn't even know what to pick. There was so much to pick from.
There are people that put fish tanks in cars. So I mean, how is a pinball machine any far further than that?
I got my next topic.
Fish tank in cars? That's really specific.
Well, you've never seen that show?
Yeah.
Oh God. I forget the name of the show.
I know exactly what you're talking about, where they make fish tanks out of them.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the damn show.
Go for that, huh? Interesting.
Yeah. But
it's like
they're guys from New York or Jersey. One, I believe it's New York.
It is.
And they work out of Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
They've done a lot of different shows. They have a TV show and done a lot of different tanks. We're gonna put a fish tank in a TV, or we're gonna do it above this kid's bed, or something.
Missy watched every episode of that damn show, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You just yell at a ghost?
Drove me nuts. Trying to get her attention so she can tell me the name of that dumb show.
Only Google existed.
Somebody.
I don't think it's typing.
Somebody has a mechanical keyboard.
Mr. Nutz will find it.
Give me a second. I'll look. I'm trying to look it up now, actually.
Phoenix, what was your favorite worst genre that we have come up with?
We're on a first date, Frank. Why are you asking me like individual questions? What's happening?
It was the first question that came.
Hey, you two gonna split the check, or is who's actually paying?
Find out if I split out or not. You gonna split it, or are you gonna make me pay? All for it.
I mean, it all depends on who's really giving and receiving that night.
That's whoever pays gives, I guess, right?
No, receives, right?
And receives at the end of the date on a regular straight date.
Yeah, you're right. I see. I'm straight, so I'm thinking backwards. If you're gay, you got to go the opposite, right? Yeah. I guess.
I think it's dealer's choice at that point. Maybe if you want to get it, you pay.
Well, not for nothing, but dudes normally either they chip in or they pay for themselves or whatever. I mean, everything about a gay relationship sounds enticing except for the sex part.
I inverse that, and you got me. Ron White had a really good bit about gay men. He was talking about how they were in a bar having a great ass time. And
just
he said, "You want to know why?" Because he said there wasn't no fucking women in there to tell them what to fucking do or go home. He said, "No wonder these guys are so damn happy."
Yeah, I mean, you get to watch the game together. I mean, you know what I mean? You work on cars together, and the one isn't bitching the whole time that it's cold out. You know?
Yeah, really.
God, I mean, I had to replace a coolant hose on my van. God forbid she had to surrender one of her cake pans for me. You know, because it's either that or my dog dies from licking up that delicious shit. Because let me tell you something about antifreeze. It tastes awesome. I found out.
And then it basically is Mountain Dew.
I was changing oil once, and I got a drop of oil in my mouth, and I swallowed it, not knowing. And boy, did that make me sick.
Oh, goddamn. Ugh. Well.
It wasn't much at all, dude. I just like the oil filter splashed in the oil, and it just went in my mouth, and I didn't pay no attention to it. Oh my God, that made me sick.
Yeah.
Antifreeze is actually kind of sweet. That's why you might find like a Yellow Jacket or something.
Yeah.
Antifreeze.
Yeah, and my truck has the red, and that's the good stuff.
And as for the show that we were talking about, it's the show Tank. The company is ATM.
Did they go out of business yet?
I doubt it. Huh?
ATM, like ass to mouth?
No, not quite. I think it stands for all aquariums, tanks, and I don't know, something else. I have to look that up too.
Aquarium, tanks, and...
It said ass to mouth. Oh man, I wonder if that's an ongoing joke.
It's gotta be, especially with his dumb brother-in-law.
Yeah, his brother-in-law just
annoyed the hell out of me.
He's a goofball, dude.
He was like the Chum-Lee of fish tanks.
There's one in every crowd. Frank, you're ours.
Thank you. But at least I'm not a felon that loves crack.
Not yet. We'll get you there.
I mean, I love crack, but I'm not a felon yet.
Oh, first you get on the crack, then you become a felon. Then the crack continues.
I'm halfway there.
Give it time.
You're not a felon by blind luck.
No. You earn it. You got to earn that status. It just doesn't happen, and to me it would, but to normal people it just doesn't happen. I mean, I've gotten arrested a few times for no reason at all. But that's just because it's me. But normal people, it doesn't happen to. So
normal people.
Dude, I got arrested for putting my insurance card in my truck one time. I got a detective rolled up on me and pulled a gun out on me. You ever have a detective pull a gun out on you, sticking at with the safety off, yelling at you? It is terrifying. And the whole time I'm going, what do they know? What do they know? What do they know?
You're like running through your history. Like, what do they know? Oh, shit.
It was a time.
Did they find the computer? Did I search history? Oh, shit.
It was a time in my life somebody could have said too much about something. So I just played the what?
Don't human traffic, not even once. Frank learned his lesson.
But thankfully, as I was in jail, they got the canine, and he followed the guy that they claimed they thought I robbed a house around the corner, and he was wearing a gray hoodie, and while he was robbing the house, the old man came home. He pushed the old man down and then jumped out the window. Don't know why he didn't go out the door after you do that. I would have. But this guy went out the window. Do I look like somebody that's jumping my fat ass through a window? The answer's no. So
oh, no.
don't everybody say it at once, fuckers. Anyway, so my buddy Tim, who, just want to preface, his sister was a police officer in the town that I was living in at the time, was on his way over, and he's the type that if he saw it, like my street was about, I don't know, a quarter mile long, and I lived at the end of it. So when I went to my truck, put my new insurance card in. When I came back around, I saw headlights way down at the end of the street turn in, and I thought it was him. And you hear, "Rah!" He punched it. So I kind of, walked around the side of my house and went up on my porch and turned around and waited for him to pull up. But it wasn't my buddy Tim. It was the detective. And he got out and he pointed a gun at me and he started yelling at me to get back down off my porch. And they arrested me. And then they yelled at me. And then before you know it, the entire town's police force was there. And they were all, not telling me what I was getting arrested for. And then, it's dark out, right? They put the hood over my head, lights everywhere, blue, right? And then they drive the old man by me. I'm handcuffed, hood up. Anybody looks guilty at that point. And I hear over the fucking little, speaker, positive ID. I'm like, what? Just because I had a gray hoodie on. It's the only reason.
That evil crime of your fashion choice.
I burnt that motherfucker when I got out of jail finally. Because
I think there's another crime.
Well,
if I was a cop, I would write you a ticket just for wearing that damn Eagles hat.
It's a great throwback Eagles hat, and you should shut your mouth, son.
Listen here,
you see,
Junior.
This is back when
when you're older than me, then you can call me son.
At least this team never just bounced out of my town one night.
Technically, that was the Colts that did that, not the
Ravens.
Ravens.
The other way around.
Hey,
they bounced his town.
At least I didn't have one that did it. Still hurt.
We just needed a better quality team. That's all. That is a very sore subject in Baltimore. I advise you never bring that up.
That's exactly why I did, because I live close enough to know that that's a sore subject.
Mayflower, Colts, leaving in the middle of the night or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you don't say this kind of things in Baltimore.
They backed the U-Haul truck up to the stadium, packed everything.
It was a Mayflower truck, Frank.
Well, whatever. Mayflower, U-Haul, what's the difference?
It makes a difference in Baltimore.
Except for the size and name, I guess. But hey, go Indy. Rock on. Indianapolis Colts. They needed a football team because they got the other greatest sporting venue of all time. Might as well have a great football team.
Indiana Pacers. Oh.
No, the Indy 500.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm. So, right on. You've never...
So, Ghosts.
No, hold on. You've never been to a concert there, H. Nutz?
What's that?
Mr. Nutz? You've never been to a concert?
No, I've been to a few concerts. I personally like local bands more than concerts, though, because most local bands, you can find the ones that are just weekend warriors, but you also have the ones that do have actual talent, and they're good to watch, too. They're not all about the money. They're more about the entertainment. Most of the big rock stars they just want to get laid and drunk and high.
That's not true. I've seen Roger Waters numerous times, and that man was not there to get laid or high. That man was there to put on a great show.
But was he on his sober thing at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
He built a wall on stage. I can't believe I've seen it in person. I never thought in a million years I would see Roger Waters build a wall live during the entire Go Fuck Yourself with That Piece of Shit album. Ugh. They called it.
You know what's funny about this record? Let me see if it's still there. I bought the final cut, Pink Floyd. Is it still in here? And I opened it. I got it at a local record shop here. And I opened it up, and not only was it one of my favorite records, but I also found these little gems inside. This will be, let me see here. 1 second, guys. It'll be worth it. Well, first there's a receipt for something. But inside of this was like a guy's like home printed porn catalog. There's a photo still of Drew Barrymore, which is not pornographic.
Can you move over a little bit more?
Then it switches to like Pam Anderson here nude.
Fuck yeah.
Like, and it's printed off from a home computer and like high gloss. You can see the gloss on that thing and her titties.
Hold on, I need to screen cap that. Hold on.
I'll send it to you. Okay. I'll sign it and send it to you like I'm Pam Anderson.
That's honestly the best thing that's come out of Canada.
And then there's a printed, and it says Playboy on the bottom. So you print it off like the actual website. So some guy printed off porn and was like, I'm going to hide this in my Pink Floyd record where the kids won't look.
No.
His kids must have no taste in music.
Hide it in the worst Pink Floyd album where nobody will ever look. Except for you. The worst song with one of the best solos I've ever heard. Honestly, it drives me nuts, that song. The Fletcher Memorial Home or whatever.
The Fletcher Memorial Home. Why do you hate that song?
Color TV to make sure they're still real.
It's the only connection they feel. He's a terrible singer.
I know. And then...
Hey, Frank.
And an amazing solo.
Frank, can I interrupt for a second?
Go right ahead, sir.
Please do not quit your day job, okay? Whatever it is, I'm sure you're a much better at that than you would be at singing.
The idea is to give him terrible advice. Frank, go ahead and quit your day job and go on the road and start singing.
I just got a raise and a bonus.
You have to give him terrible advice.
I got a raise and a bonus today. What are you talking about? My day job is doing just fine.
You got a bonus?
Yeah, I got a bonus and a raise today.
Who lied to you, bro?
Huh?
Who lied to you?
Well, if the money's fake, my boss and the bank.
Okay, just making sure.
But I'm pretty sure they're telling the truth because I also fired somebody today too. He deserved it.
It's funny.
It felt good. It was a few years in the making. It was coming. I mean, you know, I will destroy your life slowly. I'm very patient, and it all came together today.
Sounds like you took him out in the woods and executed him like mob style.
I might as well have.
It does sound like that, doesn't
Don't get me out here in the woods.
When you make a coke head broke, you might as well have.
That coke will do that too, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but he had a job first.
Hold on. Maybe we could switch over from you to this guy. We got the coke head already, and we're going for felon next. Because that was kind of the two-step process we're going for here. Should we just move over to this guy instead of you, Frank?
No, I don't think you become a felon when you keep on getting pulled over with no license.
No, but if he's a cokehead, he's desperate. He has no job. He's a cokehead. We can get him arrested for some sort of...
Well, no. He hasn't been arrested yet. He was just fired today, so you got to give him a week. You know,
okay, give him a week. And then we go to plan of action on this guy.
From what from what I've heard about cokeheads, he'll get paid, and then the very next day, like 12 hours later, is when he'll be desperate.
I had a cokehead boss once, and we didn't get paid for a while.
I've been there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Actually, I found out that guy, he fell off of a roof a few months ago. He didn't fall. That cocksucker was thrown. Trust me. He's the biggest douchebag cocksucker I've ever known. We call him John Snake. I mean, with a name like that, you don't fall off roofs. You're thrown off roofs.
or he fell, and then I was like, nothing happened really. Is what happened probably.
Oh no, he's fucking paralyzed.
Oh, so you fired a cripple. Good job.
No. This was my old boss that was a cokehead. And a crackhead. Coke and crack at the same time. I thought you were just one or the other. They did
you get a little adventurous.
I guess so. I've heard they both don't last at all. I've never done either one personally. I couldn't tell you.
Still time.
Mr. Nutz, how long does crack usually last?
I've heard crack or cocaine stays in your system for like 3 to 7 days, but I've never really gotten an official ruling on that.
Official ruling?
Why? Because on the 8th day you took the test and passed?
Nah, bro. I have no idea.
Okay, craziest drug you've ever done. Phoenix, go.
I'm not that crazy. If you want to talk drug stories, I'm going to be very boring.
No, I just want to hear the craziest drug you've ever done.
I smoke pot. That's literally all I've ever done.
That's okay. I mean...
I'm not apologizing. I don't give a shit. It's just all I've done. I have no interest. I don't like even like when I drink. I don't like when I get drunk. I don't like being out of control. I hate that feeling.
I'm allergic.
So I get than I've done.
I hate being drunk because I get sick and I throw up for 2 days because I'm allergic to the shit. So
you're allergic to alcohol?
I thought you were asking me the question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm allergic to alcohol. Yes. Okay, Nuts. Craziest drug you've ever done?
I did heroin once, but more than once, but it wasn't intentional.
Oh, there we go.
It wasn't intentional. Did you fall on the needle, or?
No. It wasn't like that. It's just sometimes when you buy certain drugs, sometimes people use other drugs to cut them.
Fair enough. So it was.
Did you smoke it, or did you?
No, swallowed it. I thought it was ecstasy that was cut. It was MDMA that was cut with heroin.
So you thought it was
cheaper, something else.
Oh, what was it cut with that? So it made it feel like you were. Wait, isn't ecstasy? Ecstasy makes you speedy, doesn't it?
It was cut with heroin because getting a chemist to make MDMA is not easy. Because you really just have to find a chemist that has like no morals and wants to make heroin. I mean, make MDMA.
If my father was still,
which is a drug that if you take it the wrong way or take too much of it or you don't take care of yourself properly, it can kill you.
You could convince me that MDMA is a new type of music, like dubstep, and I'd just you.
It's like, yo, I just graduated college. What was your major? MDMA.
I got my MDMA in biology. I'm like, cool, man. That's sweet. How long did that take? Oh, 4 years. Oh, great. And I just moved the fuck on, none the wiser.
Yeah.
So MDMA is like a ecstasy offshoot, like a cousin, or
is it
what are we
the same
talking
family?
about here?
MDMA is ecstasy. It is ecstasy. It's just MDMA. Molly is MDMA.
Okay.
Molly is supposed to be pure MDMA. But if somebody tries to tell you they're going to sell you Molly, they're probably full of shit because that's just really hard to get a hold of.
I did it once, and it made me feel like I was on acid, but never seen any visuals, so I was very disappointed. Yep. That's the only time I've ever done it.
Sound disappointed.
Well, I wanted...
You should try Coke.
No,
And just as a disclosure for any young kids listening or even adults, drugs are the most stupidest thing that you could ever fucking do. And you're a complete fucking moron if you want to waste your time, your money, or your effort doing drugs or hanging out with people that do drugs.
Well, bottom line is, if you are stupid enough to do it, then fucking go all out, I say, because we don't need you. Just fucking, no, get help, please. Just fucking go get help. There's plenty of hotlines, get help. Phoenix, would you like to ramble off? No, I'm kidding. That's a throwback. That's not even funny. Okay.
Here's a site, google.com.
Yes.
Type in drug help.
Yeah, definitely.
The end.
Wish my father would have taken that advice, but no. Anyway, moving on. No, I mean, we're all in our, mid to upper 30s, I think. Mr. Nutz is about 52?
52. Fuck you, Frank.
51. 1.5. Thank you.
Phoenix,
you take these nuts.
Phoenix, yeah, because my nuts hang low. Do your nuts hang low? Can you tie them in a bow?
Disgrace the Nuts family gets there. I will not have you disparage our name, our good Nuts name.
Let's go.
Fair names, though.
The Nuts family is huge. You don't want to fuck with that. You got some huge nuts over there. Oh, boy, did I fuck that joke up. Okay. Low-hanging fruit. Oh, pulled it back in. Just
low-hanging fruit would have been me sounding somewhat nuts-rageous, but I couldn't form it in time. Too tired.
If only raisins could actually hang, they're already dried up grapes.
See, that's why he's the stand-up and I'm the fucking electrician, because I suck at telling jokes. That was a great joke. Fucking nutrageous.
It wasn't, because it was a half, but it was the premise, but no joke around it. So I'm tired right now. I'm out of it.
It was better than whatever I came up with.
That's nothing, dude. I'm going to throw this out there now, but one time me and Frank were doing a podcast, and I fell asleep while Frank was talking because he went too far away.
You want to hear something? When we started last week, we couldn't even get on the microphone before Frank fell asleep. And I sat here staring at him like, and he's done. And he just fell over. And I was like, he's either dead or asleep. I'll go ahead and find out which one if he texts me. I guess the waiting game on his heartbeat.
Yeah, I was like, all right, man, I'm ready.
No, you're like, and this is going to be a visual joke. Sorry, podcast listeners. But he's setting up his microphone like always. We got like 45 to an hour. So Frank setting up his microphone like always, and then he's almost done. He's like, all right, I think I'm good. He's like, and something over like a cowboy in the end of the cowboy movie when they get shot. Just kind of
right.
That's the way.
Look, I was up for almost a week at that point, dude. I had a bad week last week, but this week made up for it. Yes, it did. That was literally 5 days ago, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
That was a rough week. Oh, let me get to this, Frank, because I do want to talk about this. Sorry, Nuts. You're going to have to hear this. So, after we recorded the podcast, because this is something I'm really fucking angry about, and Frank could tell. We had this hour-long podcast about like suicide prevention and everything like that. Felt really good about ourselves. We recorded that. Immediately, I got very drunk. Frank got very whatever. And then we came back. We did a Twilight Zone episode, and it was I called it trash live commentary because we were out of our fucking mind. Like the second we hung up on Skype, I went and threw up, like just raw, like all over the place. And that was at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then like 2 or 3 hours later, I get an email, and I'm like, my phone's like bling. I have a new phone, so I don't know the volume controls yet. So it was like right by my ear on the pillow, and it just like fucking woke me out of a drunken sleep. And I look, and it's this email from some lawyer. It's saying I have to remove a video, and because it's a copyright infringement, which I've gotten before. But this is the problem with this one is I've already fought this one on YouTube. It's called fair use on YouTube for any lawyers that are listening. I can show clips from your movie as long as I forget what the exact terminology.